Hey everybody, Mr. Militich here. Just wanted to share this presentation and this video with you as we start getting back on track with the wonderful work that we were doing before we left for the break caused by the coronavirus pandemic. I know it's been a while since you've probably seen my face and heard my voice, so I wanted to send out this little welcome back video as a way to kind of reintegrate you with what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks and also as a way for me to kind of practice using these new online tools that we're going to be using for the this new online distance learning program that we're going to be doing. So I know this is going to be very new for you all. It's very new for me. So just know that my expectations are not low in the sense that I don't expect a whole lot, but just so that you know that I'm going to be patient with you as we try to get into this new way of learning. And hopefully, you will also be patient with me as I try to kind of readjust my teaching methods to more of an online focused way of delivery. So I know the coronavirus has kind of disrupted a lot of what we're used to doing normally. I know a lot of you all are probably stressed out or anxious or just even plain old bored with the way we've had to adjust our lives with this kind of super scary, super novel thing that's happened to us. I mean, we even really had a pandemic like this since 1918, so over 100 years. So very, very, very few people have actually experienced something like this before. So, um, sorry, I have a few notes here on what I wanted to say, so bear with me. So I hope everybody is super well and staying safe. I know this is a super scary time, so I'm hoping everybody is well and healthy. I'm doing well and staying healthy. You know, not going out too much, making sure I wear a mask, washing my hands a lot, and hopefully you all are doing the same. And I just want you to know, hopefully you know that I do miss you, and hopefully a lot of your teachers do miss you. The reason we become teachers is so that we can interact with wonderful people like you every day. I know that's always the highlight of my day. As much as I love talking about government and teaching government, my favorite thing is talking with you all. So hopefully we'll be able to get some semblance of that in the weeks to come. So I wanted to start out with doing a little bit of a check-in. So, what have I been doing over the coronavirus? I know I usually come in and tell you about my day, tell you about my weekend. So, I just kind of wanted to share what I've been doing over the past, uh, almost 4 weeks now, since we've been kind of cooped up inside, not going to work or not going to school. Oh, I'm going to move this kind of more up to the corner now. Boop. There we go. So, as some of you may know, I love to cook. So I've been having a lot more time to cook and kind of try out new recipes. So I wanted to share some of the things I'm doing with that. So for the first time, I made twice baked potatoes. Those were really scrumptious. It's basically like mashed potatoes, but you kind of scoop out the insides and put them back in. Make mashed potatoes, put them back in the shell, and then throw them under the broiler. Make them a little crispy on top. It's a wonderful dish. I tried my hand at lasagna for the first time. That was very new to me. Took my mom's recipe. It turned out pretty okay. The flavors were all there, but it was a kind of a short lasagna. I was only able to get like 2 layers when there should be like 3 or 4. I don't know if I jam packed the first layer. It didn't make enough, but I don't know. Something for me to figure out another time. I tried making bread for the first time. That turned out pretty well. I typically consider myself more of a cook, not necessarily a baker. They're two kind of very. If any of you all cook or bake, you'll know that the two are very different. And typically, one person likes one or the other. I'm definitely more of a cooking person. Baking's a little too finicky, a little too exact for me. But I had a really fun time with it. I also baked banana bread. That turned out really well. And there's a little outfit, one of my fits that I've been wearing to the grocery store. I call it Corona chic. But I do have masks now, so I do wear a mask whenever I go out to the grocery store to try to stay safe. What else have I been doing? So I've been because I've been cooped up inside a lot. You know, I can only really go out for walks and stuff. Um, I've been doing a lot of nerdy things. A lot of you know that I'm a pretty big nerd, not just with government, but a lot of other things. So I've been doing nerd stuff like playing lots of D&D. Those are some dice and little figurines that I have. I've also been playing some video games. I've been playing Persona 5 Royale, which was really great. It's a remake of a game put out earlier just called Persona 5. Really great JRPG. Highly recommend it. And of course, like everybody else, I've been playing Animal Crossing. So I just shared a little screenshot of my Animal Crossing house in my yard. It's been kind of fun to cultivate that stuff. My whole island is really amazing. I have lots of things going on. I have paths, I have bridges, I have stairs. And for those of you who play this game, you'll know what I'm talking about. But for those of you who don't, just know that it's just a little kind of like island building game where it's very calm and you just kind of build up an island and invite people to live on your island and harvest the resources. It's a pretty chill game, but fun and time consuming, which I feel like you need in this time where time is infinite. So, getting back more on track to what we're talking about with what's going to be happening for the next, couple of weeks. So, all of your classes should basically look like this. So, each subject matter has a day kind of delineated for it. English is on Mondays, math is on Tuesdays, science Wednesday, social studies Thursday, and electives on Friday. I'm not too sure about what's going on with the electives. You're going to have to kind of talk to your teachers for those of you who take multiple electives. But I think the way it's going to work, they're going to kind of like rotate Fridays. But again, I'm not sure. I would just double check with your elective teachers. But what it should look like is each class is going to have a roughly 45-minute class a week. So they're only going to have one of these type things a week. So Englishes will be on Monday, Tuesday, math, so on and so forth. So each day should be delineated for one specific content area. For each class, you should receive 2 different assignments for each class per week. Each class per week. So Monday, you would be given 2 English assignments. Tuesday, you'd be given 2 math assignments. And then for those assignment due dates, they're supposed to be due 2 days after each class. So if you have an assignment given to you by your English class here on Monday, those assignments would be due on Wednesday. Unless, of course, your teacher kind of tells you something else. But you should, per the county rules, be given at least 2 days to complete the assignment. 2 days. So for our class, as you can see, is on Thursday here. And if I give you an assignment, those assignments will typically be due at the very least on Monday, the following Monday. So we're counting 2 days in terms of work week days, so Monday through Friday. So if you're given an assignment on Thursday from me, they will be due on the following Monday. So what is our class going to look like? So our class is going to look like pretty much what we're doing here. I'm going to record a video over top of slides, and I'm going to have one recorded lesson a week. And I'm actually going to post those on Mondays. I'm going to be posting those on Mondays because I want you guys to have as much time as possible to view this lecture, to view the material, and get to it on your own time. I'm only going to be doing some light, what they would call synchronous learning. Synchronous learning meaning that we are online live at the same time. I'm only going to be doing a little bit of that. Most of the work that I'm going to be giving is going to be asynchronous, meaning I'll post stuff and then you can get to it when you get to it. So again, it'll be 2 assignments a week. Now those 2 assignments will probably be doing one either pre the lesson, meaning pre-viewing this lecture material, or doing it during the lesson. So I'll give you an assignment and tell you to write something down or fill out a chart or do something while you're viewing these lecture slides. And then one will be typically after the lesson as more of a reflection. So on Thursdays, I know I said I'm posting my stuff on Monday, but on Thursdays, I will be doing a live discussion with all of my sections. So this will be a live discussion and check-in as a way for us to kind of talk to each other. You can speak to me, speak to the class about the material that we're learning, and also kind of check in, see how we're doing, how we're getting along in all of our classes, including my class. So Thursday's classes will be optional, and I'll post those times of when I want to meet. I'm still mulling it over, but I know that I'm going to be doing a 45-minute block for my honors sections, which would be periods 1, 2, and 5, and then a section for my comprehensive sections, which would be periods 6, 7, and 8. There are going to be 2 different time blocks that I'll kind of reserve for us to meet over Google Meets. And then during your time block, you can sign in and try to discuss the content for the week. And so as soon as that little black bar goes away, yep, there it is. So the attendance, even though the attendance for these live discussions are optional, they could take place of a post-lecture assignment that I assign. So I know that not everybody will be able to join us for our discussions each week, so I will be giving an assignment for you all to do if you missed the discussion. But if you attend the discussion and I take a note that you were actively participating, then I will count that as the grade towards your assignment that week. What we're going to be talking about each week, I have laid out here in a table. So for week 1, we're going to be doing a criminal versus civil law review. After going over your Unit 6 test, which I know was a pretty difficult test, it seemed like the most missed content was really understanding the differences between criminal law and civil law. So we're going to be doing a review of that. I'm going to kind of restructure some slides, do another lecture, and then have a discussion about the 2 differences, or the differences between the 2. During that week, because I know that a lot of people kind of struggled on that BCR talking about the difference between preponderance of the evidence and beyond a reasonable doubt. So we'll be certain to hit that. Weeks 2 and 3, we're actually going to pick up where we sort of left off when we stopped meeting in person for class. So I think we left on a Wednesday. We were shut down Thursday and Friday. And the following week, we were going to start talking about freedom of speech and the case law behind freedom of speech and what freedom of speech looks like, specifically for you as a student in a school. Because there's a lot of really interesting Supreme Court cases that talk about your rights as students inside of a school. And as we've already learned, that some of your rights are diminished or hindered when you are in a school, even though you are all under the purview of the different amendments and have these rights, that they have been interpreted to be a little different in a school context. In week 4, we're going to TBD, which means to be determined. Me and Mr. Salami are going to keep this a little more open, waiting for more instruction and guidance from the county office as well as the state government office, because if we are going to keep pushing forward with distance learning past the end of the month, that may be different than if that week 4 is our last week and then we go back to school. So again, we're going to keep that open, but it could be economics, it could be foreign policy, it could be a comparative government assignment. We're still trying to figure it out. So that is to be determined. All right, so one final note, I just wanted to say that we got this, that I know that it's unfortunate that we're not able to meet in person, and that certainly that's definitely the preferable way for me to do things, but this is a super anxious time, but I want you to know that I'm here for you. Your teachers are here for you. Your school is here for you. So if you have any questions, I hear some cute emojis of me. But if you need anything, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, or you just want to share what's going on in your life, feel free to contact me down at this email address. If you just want to shoot me an email, ask me questions, or have a conversation that way, we can do that. If you want to do a Google Meet where we could, video chat like this, we could do that as well, as long as you schedule it with me ahead of time. I want to be super available to you all. I know this is a scary and unusual time, but we're going to get through this, and we're going to return back to normalcy. If not in a few weeks, then hopefully by next year. I hope it's not next year, because I would love to see your faces before the summertime. Okay, y'all. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on, well, hopefully, I will see you on Thursday. Have a great week, y'all, and let's get back to work.